because it's a dichotomy of sorts. Because you have to have a lot of empathy when you're writing, you have to have a lot of empathy when you direct, and especially when you act, you have to have a lot of empathy. But to survive in the film industry, you have to have a very thick skin. So you have to have both. You have to keep your heart open and and your skin thick. Because rejection is part and parcel. And it's not only rejection when you're starting off, you're going to experience it as your career grows. Nobody has a 100 on 100 track record. Even if people that you see who've scored knockout successes, I mean, if you equate that to like a boxing match, it takes one punch eventually to knock someone out. But think of all the blows that person took in the round 1 and round 2 and round 3. Those knocks are equally as important for a fighter as finally knocking something out of the park. So there was a lot of rejection. It was very difficult for me to find 3 actors to play the parts of Akash, Sid, and Sameer. It took me about a year and a half to 2 years to finally lock down on a cast. Every single person that I met, with the exception, I would say, of Akshay Khanna, who said yes the very first time that he heard it. But everyone else that I met had said no. And it took me a very long time to convince Amir to be able to do the film. And the minute he said yes, then suddenly everything was paradise. And everyone wanted to be a part of that film. So I really have a lot of gratitude for Amir, because on a huge level, him saying yes to the film eventually made it possible for me to make it the way I wanted to make it.
I know this from a small experience. I just created a show called Dabba Cartel, which Excel produced. And I remember when Shivani and I were creating the thing.
Thank you.
The same thing we said. We said once we convince Shabana ji to headline the cast, no actor will say no after that. So let's get that one big actor. And that is the truth, right? Because people you want to collaborate with somebody there. Either a senior actor or now in your case, with a body of work, a director, a producer, like you become. But when you're new, you need that, right? You need that one person to peg it on. I'm saying this because as advice to people here, because a lot of times you don't get that lucky that somebody high profile would say yes. How do they power on then?
No, you'll still make the film. I mean, eventually, if in a hypothetical world, if Amir had said no, I would still go on and make the film with someone else, right? It would probably affect the way I made the film, because it would change probably the economics of the movie to a certain extent, but I would still make the film, and the film would still be the film. But I feel there's a huge difference between the year 1999, when all this was happening, and now where we are. I mean, the avenues of me shooting a film, the ease with which you can make a film now, the outlets that you have to release your film on, excuse me, they didn't exist then. You only had the option of releasing a film theatrically. And for it to go theatrically, for distributors to buy your film, there had to be something of value and something of interest in it for them. It's not the same thing now. I think now the avenues, which is great, it's more democratic now. I feel that it's a great time to be a filmmaker, a great time to be a writer, because your work, if it's good, will find a way to reach the public. You don't necessarily need to depend on it being on a screen anymore. So the time has changed as far as that is concerned.